Greatest ever done it. You can learn from it. Dope game ran it. Rap game run it. Street cred hunted. Nerd turned D-boy, not in genetic makeup. Baby, I'm a G-boy. Hashtag street boy. Wrong one to fuck with. Cross me at your own risk. Play to get back. You can trust this. I am far from average. To me, it ain't no such thing. Me against the world, so fuck it, I let my nuts hang. I've been known to bust bang. Kill if the need be. I don't need an army when the smoke clears, he sees me. Rhyming at his finest. Unlike those vaginas that claim that they the real deal, knowing I'm the highest. Top of the command chain. I am what the streets made. I am what the hood built. You are just a weak lame. Homicidal maniac with suicidal tendencies. You're more like a punk band. I'm more like a pedigree of nigga you ain't seen yet. So y'all cannot describe me. I'm a freak of nature. Don't shit here surprise me. Money over everything except the nigga's manhood. I am not a prostitute. You don't understand hood. Fuck a nigga getting his unless he about to give me mine. Otherwise he prime beat. Shocking when I up the 9 and hit it with it 7 times. Fuck you thought I'm civilized? Welcome to the jungle, fool. It's only right I punish you. Nigga with an attitude. Feel like MC Ren felt. Quiet on the set, you funky bitch, you get your friends slipped. I give your game a black eye. Blame it on the black guy. I be on some nigga shit, I'm niggerish, so that's why. Guess what my religion is? This is what the business is. Exposure for you garbage ass rappers. You can witness this. Came to bang your game up. Pussies think they came up. Oh, you got a drop head? So now you think you famous? I hear it's dangerous and we don't know your name, cuz we don't even give a fuck. Rappers get it fucked up. Security say you nah, this they side job. They don't want no conflict, they don't want no problems, nah.
Salute, and welcome. Welcome back over to the Black Ocean. Now swimming getting deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, family, you see it. If I'm going to direct your attention over here to the screen, weaponized intelligence. That is what we're going to be discussing here tonight. And I have an excellent tool of study that I think all foundational Black American freedmen should adhere to and refer to as the master class in the modern era of how you conduct a debate, especially against some tethers. A lot of y'all probably remember this, but I said, you know what? This is a great time to bring this back before the people, okay? As an example of what you do when we're dealing with these tethers out here today, okay? So I got something I want everybody to pay attention to and study. We're going to break certain things down as we usually do as we review it. But I hope all of you are also having a great, excellent weekend. I know I am, okay? I hope everybody in here is enjoying themselves and you're in good health. Many blessings to you. I'm going to scroll up here and go ahead and greet those of you that I see because I definitely want to get started reviewing this. Let me pull up the chat. Well, I'm seeing up here, I see the good sister Patricia Slade. Welcome. I see Iron Will. What's going on? Yeah, got to have that face mob on deck, good brother. Patricia Jenkins in the building. I see you, sister. Concerned Black citizen. All right, what's going on? Only Pamela's way. A goddess Navi in the building. Artist Doucette. I hope I'm saying that right. ATLN_007. What's good, my brother? Mac Maroon in the house. Stunzed, or however you pronounce that. Salute and welcome to all of you that will be joining us over here tonight. So, family, check this out. Today, we see that we're in a very critical hour of our history. We're starting to get our culture, our lineage well defined by our own terms, not other people's. We're starting to get on code and focus on what our issues are. We're not caping for other people, okay, even though we respect our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who are riders. We giving these tethers and every one of these other buffer class groups hell, along with the white supremacists, okay? So when you're doing that, one of the things that you got to notice is, as we recently seen when they pulled the rug out from under affirmative action, we're not tripping about that because it never really benefited us, okay? But the people that are upset the most and that are angry because we're not putting the capes on are these tethers. So we're going to review this interview here tonight. Two of our good brothers in New Black Media conducted this on the Fox channel. A lot of y'all gonna remember this when you see it, but we got to play this tonight to bring some things back to the forefront of your memory and point out some excellent ways and tactics to use when you are putting our issues before the public and you're dealing with any type of pushback or dealing with any of these Democratic shields or whoever, okay? So you're going to learn a lot here tonight. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Hi, Marcel.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for having me.
Managing attorney at Vilauza and Associates, Kenda Vilauza, and hi, Kenda.
Hi, Tammy.
And film director and producer Tariq Nasheed with us today. Hi, Tariq.
How are you, beloved? Good to see you.
Just fine. You giving me that Iyanla Van Zant today, huh? That hit me with the beloved. I feel you. So the first question I always ask, because this show is the business of being Black, and that's why should Black people care? Why should Black people care if immigrants enter into America? Samuel, let's kick things off with you.
Well, we should care because obviously, folks entering the country play a significant role on whether it's progress or hindrance of the country. But of course, the one key thing we have to keep in mind, however, immigrants play a positive role in the development of the country. I think the key thing is we want to make sure these folks are entering legally and going through the legal process. But one thing that should not get lost is these folks are even places where they have faced, hardship, severe hardship, whether financial or otherwise. So that's something that we should appreciate. But certainly, I am for a proponent for having folks coming through the legal process, ensuring that they obtain their proper documentation, because these folks play a significant role, and they all can at times become productive members of society.
Marcel, why should Black people care if immigrants enter into the U.S.?
We should definitely care because study after study, whether they're from conservative entities or liberal entities, have shown that the group that is most harmed by immigration, illegal and legal, are Black Americans, especially Black American men who just hold a high school diploma or less. It has been shown to correlate with as much as a 30 to 60% decline in wages, a 10 to 20% increase in incarceration rates. It's been shown to have a detrimental impact on the marriage rates of Black Americans. Not only that, it diverts resources that should be going into impoverished majority Black neighborhoods to immigrants. One study done by the Washington Post that is usually considered a liberal entity, done April 8, 2021, said that the US government has been spending about $60 million a day housing unaccompanied minors alone. That's not taken into consideration illegal immigrants that are going into hospitals, that are using other programs from the government. So we should definitely care as Black Americans because our needs are not being provided for. And it is an insult to provide for the needs of people, especially those who have entered our country illegally.
Wow. You laid out some interesting facts there. Tariq, let's get down to it. Why should Black people care if immigrants enter into the U.S.?
We have to understand why immigration really became a thing on a massive scale. We live in a culture of systematic white supremacy. Part of systematic white supremacy is to thwart any type of progress from foundational Black Americans, meaning the people who built the country, the people who are non-immigrants. Foundational Black Americans, anytime we've made progress, the dominant society would come up with ways to thwart that progress, and they figured out they can thwart that progress by flooding the zone with a lot of immigrant groups that's going to come here and undermine us. This is why several Black leaders and spokespersons, going all the way back to Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, and many, many others, they were against immigration because they knew the impact it would have on foundational Black Americans.
Kenda, let's go for it. Why should Black people care?
I don't think they should care, in all honesty, because immigrants or undocumented immigrants coming to this country, they are doing jobs that Black Americans wouldn't necessarily do. So I personally don't see why they should care.
What?
Now, let me go ahead and chime in here because, see, trust me, if you did not see this when it first aired, you are about to witness a masterclass in how two brothers that are very articulate, very intelligent, very well read on history and up to date on current events that affect our particular lineage. You're about to see how these brothers handle them. They finna get that work. But I gotta address something, okay? The chick down here at the bottom, the tether, because they both are. Both one is a Haitian, the other I think she's Caribbean or whatever. But kind of Kendall Veloza, whatever her name is. All right. I don't think they should care. Well, see, let me tell you why she said that, right? If you are being assaulted or something's working toward against your people to your detriment, of course the people that benefit from that detrimental behavior don't think you should care because, see, for far too long, this is one of the things that we have managed to do, unfortunately. I go back to the start of the pandemic again. Condolences to anybody that lost loved ones during the start of that, okay? But the silver lining for that was it allowed us to reset and focus on what's most important to us, okay? And that meant taking a look at why we were not making progress in this country. Oh, yes, we started looking at a lot of things, those of us who are on code, and we started comparing notes. Coming out of that pandemic, we are laser focused on what the issue is, and one of the issues is the damn tethers, okay? Oh, yes. So she doesn't want us focusing on that. In other words, what she really would like is for us to go back to sleep and not pay attention to the things that are causing us issues. Because, see, it's one thing if a tether's just running their mouth. Okay, we can check that. It's another when you go and get careers like hers, okay, because she's an immigration attorney, or at least she was at the time that this aired. And then you want to get in positions like Austin Chinge and try to run for governor and tell us what we shouldn't have, okay? Then you start looking at these different mayors across these different cities All of this matters. The whole Congressional Black Caucus, okay? See, they don't want us paying attention to what the problem is because, see, you know what? One thing happens. When you focus on any problem, anyone that you can name, eventually you're going to come up with a solution for that problem. And see, focusing on these damn tethers, that's half of one of the issues that we got to focus on. It's easy to shut them down when you recognize where the bullshit is coming from. For example, Coleman Cruz Hughes, whatever the fuck his name is, the little clown that jumped up there, that sham HR 40 here in a couple years back, talking about what we shouldn't have. Again, I point this out to you, family. Notice when it comes to foundational Black American freedmen issues, there's always some opposing view that they present. They don't do that with any other group. They don't do that with Jewish people. They don't do it with Asians, Hispanics. Damn sure don't see it in the dominant society. They don't do it with the LGBTQ community, okay? They don't do that. There's no opposing view when they state what it is they need for their particular group. But when it comes down to us stating what we need for our lineage, there's always some opposing view. So I appreciate Tammy Mack for doing this at the time because, see, one, it gives you an insight into their mindset, okay? Because, see, let me tell you something. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. When you're dealing with them, so salute to my good brother, Sincere Love the Guy, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to that brother's channel. He just did an excellent broadcast earlier today. But when you get a viewpoint into how these people think, any adversary, okay, it allows you to, one, formulate proper strategy in dealing with them, and it allows you to also predict their next moves, okay? Because, see, let me tell you why the tethers are an easy problem to solve. Now, I know a lot of people like, GBS, what you mean they're an easy problem to solve? Yes, they are. They are. Family, and again, I'm not punching down at our own cold Black immigrant brothers and sisters. Let me make that clear. I'm not one of those people that just hates you because you're Caribbean or African. No. I despise behavior and undermining my people when we've helped you to come here. If you don't fit into that category, I'm not talking to you, okay? So I just want to get that out the way for anybody listening to this live recording. Let me point out why it's easier to deal with tethers. See, this comes into knowing who we are as foundational Black American freedmen in our collective history, okay? Everything that your personal family has been through, all right? And then going on back to our ancestors. We stayed here on our land to deal with our issues. Small percentages of us went to Canada, some went to Mexico, but that's in the minority. The greater majority of us are right here where we belong, on our land. Reason why it's easy to deal with tethers, I want y'all to remember this all the days you live. They're not a major threat because they're too weak to stay in their homelands where they have majority numbers, get together with other like minds that want to change things and make their homelands better. We always hear them say, they sound like a broken record. Oh, well, we came here for the opportunity. Yes, opportunities that we made possible for you to take advantage of. If any of them were so much harder working, if they were so much more intelligent, so much smarter than us, they got it all figured out, we all messed up, we all backwards, plus they stay copying our culture worldwide. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But if they got it all together like that, okay, let's roll with that. Why don't you see the kind of Velozas and this boy right here, boy, I'm trying not to be petty, because y'all know how it is when I start going on people's looks. You know what? I'm going to leave him alone. I ain't going to go there. The guy up here in the top left-hand corner, because I think he's an attorney as well. If you're going to go with the narrative that you're so much better, why don't you at least get together in groups of successful immigrants over here, and then you put together a plan to go back home and get things popping, especially if you're a man. You know where I stand on that. If you're a man and you over here, you've been over here 15, 20 years, first generation, second generation, you're supposed to be formulating some plans together to go put something in place in your homeland. See, let me give you something else, because salute to our good brother Tariq Nasheed again, because he did a Twitter space last night, I think it was. And another tether jumped in there talking about, it was Somali tethers jumping in there talking about all the businesses they own. Okay, cool, let's go with that. If you such successful business owners over here, why don't you let here be the home base for your businesses and you franchise out internationally back where you from, so you can give your other fellow countrymen opportunities where they are, so that they can get themselves in positions to affect change back home. But see, you know why they don't do that? Because see, the first tenet of what I just stated is that's how a man thinks, a producer. A producer thinks, okay, I'm good. Let me make opportunities for other people. That's what a producer does, okay? A parasite, yes, I'm saying it just like that. A parasite, all a parasite does is find a viable host, latches onto that host, and drains that host of all vitality until it's an empty husk, and then it finds another host to latch onto. Let me tell you something right now. The greater majority of you, especially the men, because I don't expect the women to do what the men do. But you tether class men that come over here with your disrespectful asses, you're nothing but the equivalent of parasites. That's all you are. You're a parasite. You don't build nothing here, okay? You damn sure don't benefit us with nothing you build because you're not doing that, okay? You don't provide opportunities for your people here really in large numbers, and you damn sure not provide them for your people back home, okay? So when you start being disrespectful, it's really easy to read you. It is. You should be humble. When you produce light next to nothing, what do you have to brag about? Then you fled. Now, I'm going to say it again because a lot of people take your words out of context, misconstrue things. I don't blame anybody for leaving a bad situation. That's common sense. However, at some point, if you have manhood within you, that's supposed to eat you every day. Even if you escape that hardship, you're supposed to be like, damn, man, that's home. I had to flee my family land. This is where my people are from. That's supposed to burn you up. The men are supposed to get together and say, hey, man, we good now, but we're not gonna leave it like this. We going back to claim what belongs to us. We're gonna set our birthright in place for the next generation. We're not gonna accept this. But what do? You run over here and you find the first white asses that you can kiss, and you don't build nothing. See, the reason why they're so upset, not just the Asians, I'm gonna put them all in here. The reason why these tellers are so upset about that affirmative action, you didn't spend your time over here building a damn thing. You didn't. I've told you before, when they open their mouths to criticize us, that's like a tower boy trying to criticize Michael Jordan back in his prime when he was with the championship of Chicago Bulls. Sit down. You have no point of reference. You have no authority to speak. How you gonna show me how to do something you can't do back home where you got greater numbers? You the government. Okay, fine. You become the government. How about that? Yeah, I'm going here with it. Hey, listen. Y'all know me, man. I'm just getting started with this. Let's get back to it.
What are those jobs?
What you mean, what is those jobs? They're the ones that work at a chicken farm. Have you ever met a Black American who work at a chicken farm, who work at a factory? Have you met them?
My great-grandparents, my great-grandparents did those jobs. My grandparents did those jobs. And
okay, so those were your grandparents and your great-grandparents. But what about now? I'm speaking about what about now?
You asked a question. In Mississippi, Forest, Mississippi, and Tar Heel, North Carolina, these are things that just happened a few years ago. They did an ICE raid, and when the illegal immigrants were rounded up and deported like they should have been, guess who was there applying for those jobs? Black Americans.
I understand all that you're saying, and I don't know how much contact you make with undocumented immigrants or immigrants for that matter, but I do this as a passion. I do this as a career, and undocumented immigrants, they do not take away from Black Americans. First of all, they don't even, contrary to what you guys believe, that undocumented immigrants, that they're utilizing the welfare system, they're utilizing food stamps. First of all, as an undocumented immigrant, you cannot even have access to those kinds of programs that are provided by the federal government. And true. I am telling you.
Bold-faced lie. Yes, the hell they can. Oh, yes, the hell they can. First of all, oh yeah, we finna deal with first of all, if your ass is undocumented, you are here illegally. Yes, you are. You do not belong here. See, I'm one of our lineage that, you know me, I don't give a damn about hurting your feelings. If I can't go to your country and run around illegally, why should you be able to run around illegally on mine, on my dime? Imagine the supreme arrogance of these people, these tethers, of any group, because, you know, Dr. Umar say we don't call them all out. I'm talking of all of these motherfuckers that ain't got no business being over here. Imagine the supreme arrogance of them saying, hey, I'm going to break the law, come in your country illegally, and I want you to subsidize my lifestyle off of your tax dollars. Listen, man, you know what? Let me go ahead and put this back in the chat, because I want all of y'all to have this. Y'all know what I'm about to do. You know I like to share information that you can use. Yes, y'all already probably got this, but I'm going to put total cost of illegal immigration in all 50 states back in this chat room again. That's a file I want all of you to save and familiarize yourself with. So now, that's the first of all that we're going to deal with. The other part of it is this. She says she does that as a passion, her profession, okay, being that she's an immigration attorney. Well, see, I like that she revealed what she does because, see, you know me, I think in terms of warfare with everything. And in warfare, what you have to make an assessment of on any battlefield, you have to be familiar with how your adversary functions. And yes, I'm calling each other's adversaries because they side with white supremacy. You have to be aware of their supply lines, okay? You have to be aware of what their plans of action are, okay? You have to be aware of their numbers. You have to be aware of their communications. I like all of that because, see, this heifer right here tells them how to come over here and undermine us, all right? I showed you on a couple previous broadcasts back how some of the border patrol that looked like the South of the Borderians was letting their brethren in, okay? That goes to show you that these people are being told to do that. They've got assistants doing that inside the government, yes, particularly this damn Biden administration, okay? So now, back to these tethers here, this whole discussion, family, I want y'all to take note of the tone, okay? And I want you to take note of the particular claims that they're stating, and you'll notice a particular pattern. Because, see, this is something I want all of us to be accustomed to lining up with the tethers and their ideology. Notice the amount of lies they're about to get caught in. Oh, it's going to be plenty. I want y'all to count the lies, okay? Because we just heard the one lie talking about they can't have access to these government programs at all. Please. They got access to programs you and I, as taxpaying Foundational Black American Freedmen, can't get access to no kind of way. Okay? Oh, but see, all of that is starting to change because, see, the winds of change are indeed blowing, because let me tell you why the white supremacists are rolling back affirmative action. It's going to go to other things, okay? We're not tripping about that. It never benefited us. You're about to see a great change across the board with these white supremacists, because now, since their numbers are in steady decline, what the tactic is to draw all the resources back and centralize it amongst their people. They're going to get vicious. All these buffer class groups, they're like, yeah, you were useful for a period of time, but now it's got to be about all white, okay? Oh, they finna show them how to get down. These Asians are crying. I got popcorn, because, see, I'm going to tell you right now, any of them Asians come over here asking for help, take your little egg fool young, shrimp fried rice, chow mein ass right back over there with Zaddy, whose ass that you was kissing on. So they thought they was hurting black folks with that. Oh, no, Mei Ling. No, Madeline, you didn't hurt us. You hurting yourself. You ran your little ass right back on over there. Don't you come over here to black folks. How dare you? You done sit up in court and goddamn enacted lawsuits to keep black people from getting access to funds for black businesses and all other types of things. You need to jump up in court and handle that. Don't come to us. That goes for all you other groups. Every one of you that got something detrimental to say and try to hinder and undermine Foundational Black Americans, now these white supremacists are getting ready to codify amongst their own ranks. They finna clamp down. You thought you was a model minority or a little pet white supremacists or a flunky. Oh no, they ain't got no more use for that. And see, they terrified because, see, when you spend all that time not building anything, okay, and actually trying to solidify your power, take advantage of it, link up with your people back home, make franchises and things of that nature, you become afraid because you squandered the opportunity that you had. And then your only true allies that are not afraid of this beast over here, Foundational Black American Freedmen, you made enemies of us. Now, I'll support an individual that's on code, but I will not support a collective. I refuse to do that. Nope. You got to prove that to me, because too many of them have turned on us, okay? So yeah, the winds of change are about to blow a lot of them up out of here. Because see what you're gonna see? A lot of them that are over here, when it get too tough, they're gonna bounce. Because that's all they know to do. Flee. And I'm talking about all of them. Not just the black ones, all of them. They got a homeland to go back to. Oh, it's over with. They're like, all right, I done got all I can get out of America. It's time to run. That's what you do. Yeah, they're gonna jump up in the air and hit that Flintstone hover, and then they're gonna take off. But see, let me say something before we get back to this. That's what separates us from you. The first thing we think about with a problem is how to solve it. The first thing they think about is how to run from it. What happens when you don't have nowhere else to run, Tethers? Oh yeah, I'm going there with it. Let's let it continue.
Yes, you can.
Immigrants, especially undocumented immigrants, because there's documented immigrants like myself, and then there's undocumented immigrants, but they never do the jobs that Black Americans are doing or want to do.
That is not true.
Can I say something?
I'm sorry, Sam. I just want to be real quick.
Go ahead, Marcel.
Center for American Progress said that 38% of people employed in construction firms are illegal immigrants. It says that 39% of people who do roofing and drywall are illegal immigrants. It says that 32% of people who do carpentry are illegal immigrants. In my community, hold on, excuse me. You keep trying to change your goalposts.
Go ahead, Marcel.
No, you asked if illegal.
No, I'm saying exactly because they're the ones that are doing all the jobs that Americans do not want to do.
Hold that thought, Kendall. Let him get his. Let him get his.
When you're losing an argument, trying to overtalk someone is just the way of admitting you've been defeated. Okay.
And I want all of you to remember that, if those of you that remember anything like from your debate classes in high school or college, Brother Marcel is absolutely right. When someone is making a point in a structured debate, especially, and you start trying to interrupt and deflect and talk over that person, you're basically conceding defeat. Because see, a debate, a structured one, is supposed to be an opposition of intellectual ideas, and may the best outcome of ideas win, okay? But see, when you start doing that type of crap, yeah, you already know you got a weak position of argument right there. And I love that. See, brothers like myself, let me tell you something. I am one of the worst people that you can have as an adversary. You know why? Because I'm thinking 12 steps ahead. I love it when people start running their mouth. Because see, the best way to beat that type of adversary is to listen strategically. Notice I said listen strategically. Listen strategically, meaning that you listen to everything they're saying. If you're well-versed and well-informed on the information that you're presenting a counter with, it's light work to shut them down. And that's exactly what y'all about to see here tonight. Let's let it continue.
I've already cited actual incidents of Black Americans signing up the next day for jobs in those same poultry factories that illegal immigrants were doing only because they were allowed themselves to be exploited. Now, Center for American Progress provided data that illegal immigrants make over close to 40% of construction jobs, carpentry jobs. In my area here in rural South Carolina, one of the most common jobs for Black Americans, especially Black American men, is carpentry, is roofing, is painting, and it's construction. So you're sitting here and telling me that you don't think Black people would take construction jobs that pay well, electric jobs, heating and air? That is not true.
If I may,
let me get Samuel in here. Go ahead, Samuel. Go ahead, Samuel.
If I may, Marcel, I mean, I think what Ken is saying, and I agree with her that she's not saying that African Americans folks are here or are not hardworking people. I think she agreed that they are.
I can't resist it. I got to do it. Family, we got to give him a name. We got to give him a name. I'm gonna call him stuttering Samuel. That's what I'm gonna call him, because he gonna do a lot of stuttering during this interview. Oh, y'all know I had to do it. This boy, listen. In fact, the business, this boy about to have a bad case of turntable mouth. You gonna see what I mean here later. Oh, it is one of the funniest things about this broadcast. Oh man, it's hilarious. I had to get him, man. I had to get him. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. He ain't through with me yet, y'all. Hey, let it continue.
I think what she's saying is that folks from other countries, such as immigrants, like I'm a son of immigrant, we have a certain appreciation for certain type of work that others here may not consider. And I think that's the point she's trying to make, and I agree with that point.
No, what type of appreciation? Because that narrative that you guys will take jobs that we don't want to do, that plays into the lazy foundational Black American myth that a lot of people like.
Exactly.
No.
I think for me, that's not what anybody.
That's exactly what he said.
So I want to ask Samuel. Hold that thought.
Why that boy lip so ashy? Is it just me or do anybody else be like, hey man, listen, grab this nigga, put some chapstick on? I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I want to ask Samuel, when you say that Black Americans don't necessarily appreciate certain jobs that immigrants would come and have, what jobs?
Well, and I don't think I'm going to sit here and give certain examples of jobs. What I will say to make a point is,
if you said it, you have to give an example.
Exactly.
Hold that thought. Let him finish.
Hear me for a second. So if you imagine you have people coming from certain countries where they don't have anything compared to what folks here have. So they come, of course, they'll be more amped to take a certain position, whether it's a job that others may not consider. They'll.
Samuel, why don't they have anything if they work so hard? Mixmaster Miles. Why? I want to know, because see, if you're a man and you come over here and you bragging about how much better you doing, then why is there nothing? Remember, you're smarter than us. You're supposed to be able to create your own opportunities. See, that's the part right there that lets you know they're too weak to walk around other men that build on a daily basis. I don't care whether you a high six-figure earner or you an average income earner. If you holding your thing down, you're doing far better than them, because they don't understand that men build and protect. We do not pick up and run away and never come back. It's your birthright, man. You have no pride. You come over here and then you kiss all the white ass you can find and you accept trying to assimilate into a culture that's never going to accept you. But what do they all believe? You know the line. You're not like no Black Americans. They eat that shit up. All the while your homeland in shambles. How you go to sleep at night comfortably? I couldn't do it. If I was not of this lineage, I could not run from my homeland, never come back, and then just sleep fine. Like, there's no problem. I belong, right? You nesting under another man's tree. Man, listen, my father didn't raise me like that. But hey, let's get back to DJ Samuel right here. He gonna study his way through a pathetic rebuttal here. Let's let him continue.
They'll do anything. And when I say any type of work, they'll do any type of work because they appreciate, they know, look, where I come from, that opportunity is not there at all. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the only point that we're trying to make. And it has nothing to do with a lazy mindset. And I have heard that lazy mindset talk. But that's not, I think, what we're saying here.
Yeah, that's not what
we're saying. So one, you just validated my point. They are exploited by employers. So that's why it's a harm to Black Americans who will not allow ourselves to be exploited, because we fought for the right to get fair wages. They will prefer illegal immigrants because they will allow themselves to be exploited. Two, I will also say, if these illegal immigrants or even the people coming here legally are such hardworking, then they can stay and build up their own nations, because they're coming to the nations that hardworking Black Americans, descendant of American slaves, built. And yet, the people, hold on, Samuel, the people with the least amount of wealth in this nation are not illegal immigrants, believe it or not. It is Black Americans.
And let's refrain from using of American illegal slaves immigrants. That's
make
no
as little as $24,000 in wealth. And yet,
let me get Samuel in here, Marcel. Go ahead, Samuel.
Marcel, your point and your argument ignores the fact that these countries these folks come from are either one, impoverished, lack of significant opportunity. So if you're saying, well, they should stay here and work hard,
I got to do it, family. I got to do it one more time. Look at this screen. I get it. This serious business, and we're going to get back to serious business. But I'm trying to figure out, did this boy go and eat some powdered donuts before he did this damn interview? Why that boy lip so damn white? This ain't no filter on this. This is exactly how it is. What did he do? Did he fall in some snow or something? I mean, what happened? I'm just trying to figure it out, man. Chapstick and lotion, you ashy chap lip, tethers you. How you gonna come over and lecture somebody on what we supposed to do when you can't even get the basics of hygiene and grooming down? Oh my God, man. Listen, all right, y'all. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, but there's places. I'm from Haiti, for example, right? They have folks that graduated with attorney to be as an attorney.
Hold that thought. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I'm Tammy Mack. And today, the business of being Black is immigration. Is it harmful to America? Please welcome managing attorney at the Elira Law Firm and candidate Prince George's County Councilman at Large, Samuel Q. Elira, educator and South Carolina's 6th U.S. Congressional District candidate, Greg Marcel Dixon, managing attorney at Valauza and Associates, Kenda Valauza, and film director and producer, Tariq Nasheed. Where we left off was the appreciation that Black Americans don't have for specific jobs that maybe immigrants would take on. And I do believe that that is it's a misnomer when it comes to Black America. The problem is Blacks are Americans, and we know what should be right and fair and just. And so sometimes those Americans will not accept positions that they know they are being paid lower for than the average rate allows in America. However, if there are immigrants, they will come, and the appreciation is not about the job. I think we have to take the job itself out of it. The appreciation has nothing to do with the job. The appreciation is about the wages that's earned for the job. And so if the wages are not the wages that are minimum standard for American wages, then of course Black Americans, white Americans, and anyone else who is an American will say, oh, hell to the no, I'm not taking that job. It's underpaid. They're underpaying. But if immigrants are to come, they will take those jobs at whatever wages are allowed because they are not documented. And I think that's where we kind of lose a little bit of that appreciation. It's not about the job. It's about the pay. Samuel?
And before DJ Turntable Mom get back started here, let me break something down to you. What the sister Tammy Mack just said is true, but see, here's another difference between you and us. You'll come from impoverished places, which the white supremacists are responsible for devastating your homelands, but you too smart. We can't tell you nothing about that. See Confessions of an Economic Hitman, go and read that book, and several others that will tell you what they're doing. But hey, never mind. You got all the smoke for us. We're not doing it to you. But you're not going to focus on that. I digress. One of the other differences between us and the tether class is this. We don't think we're supposed to accept crumbs or mere hand-to-mouth existence. Foundational Black Americans, even when you go back and look at what we started to do just coming out of slavery, going into Reconstruction, okay, you see that we had all walks of life, brothers and sisters from our lineage saying, you know what? No, I deserve better than this, and my future children and grandchildren deserve better than this. Let me get started using my talent. Let me get started using my intellect. Let me get started linking with other like minds, trying to do what we can because we realize we got, especially back then, okay, before integration, when we actually had our own economy intact. But see, you tethers, you can't really point, and I got to go here with it because see, they've gotten a lot more disrespectful because they're desperate, because that's really what it is, it's desperation. They've gotten a lot more disrespectful, but I got to go here with this. You can't show me an equivalent time period in your homeland where you're the majority that equals ours over here. Coming out of slavery, cutting our literacy rate in half when it was against the law for us to learn how to read, okay? We can name Foundational Black American after Foundational Black American. Madam C.J. Walker, Mary Ellen Pleasant, okay? O.W. Gurley, all right? Oh, yeah, see, we can just sit here and keep naming Foundational Black American men and women that were entrepreneurs that said, you know what? I ain't got to beg the white man for nothing. I'll create my own. The only thing I need to do is make sure you don't sabotage and destroy it. And see, we were so good at it. Whether it was Tulsa, Oklahoma, Slocum, Texas, okay, parts of Delaware, We were so good at it that the white supremacists are like, whoa, this is what these Negroes are capable of when we don't undermine and sabotage them. Oh no, we got to pull the plug with this. Send a white woman over there with a lie. A white woman and a lie. Look, y'all know I'm hell on the Alabasters. I listen. No, you might be a good white person, white woman, whatever, but I can't trust you. Your history dictates that if I have any functioning intelligence in my head, that I cannot trust your people. No, what has that gotten us every time we've trusted them? And see where you tell us, the reason why we have such smoke for you, we made a lane for your asses to come over here when these folks didn't want none of you here. We put it on the line for you to say, you know what? Those are our distant cousins, brothers and sisters. No, y'all gonna let them over here. And we didn't just talk about it. We went out there and made shit happen. Now, here's the problem that a lot of the so-called Pan-Africanists have. I got to go here because, see, when we're talking about history and the truth, we can use these things to make intelligent arguments. So now, here's what I say. Show me the equivalent movement over here during the Civil Rights era over in any of their nations, whether it's on the continent or the Caribbean, that says, hey, you know what? We finna do what you did over in America for us. We gonna make a lane for you to come over here and provide opportunities for you so we can work together and build something. I have yet to see it on a collective scale, not an individual scale, on a collective scale. I got to put it out here, but hey, let's let Stuttering Samuel get ready to get on his turntable here.
So I am, of course, I'm for the efficiency of good pay. Nobody wants to do a work or a job without having paid properly for it.
But America continues to pay undocumented immigrants low wages for the work that they do.
And I don't think that's fair. But what I think the point where we left off is if these different countries or places these folks arrive from, there are a significant lack of opportunity, whether it's job or the housing or just certain opportunities that they don't have here in America. So if they come, so of course, not to say it's right or wrong, but they will take a certain job that.
No, it's wrong. It's not right or wrong. It's wrong. They're being exploited. Undocumented workers are being exploited by America.
Well, if they're not thinking that they're being exploited, then how is it exploitation? At the end of the day, when
did you hear that, family? See, I got to point this out. You saw the look on DJ Miles, Turntable Miles' face, and then you hear her, how is it exploited? They don't even have sense enough to know when they're being taken advantage of. Because to them, crumbs on the floor is something you should be grateful for. How the hell do you build with that mindset? In other words, you think that you deserve to be in a trash can. We don't. We never will. No, see, we not the same, man. We just not. And look, again, salute to our routers. But this mindset is what I'm talking about. This tether class mindset, we not the same. And see, I can go into the many reasons why they have that mindset. Don't get me started on that white Jesus worship. Oh, you know what I've told you about the misuse of religion, not religion itself, misuse of religion. Okay, man, listen, dude. But hey, I want y'all to listen to what she's about to say. She thinks she's gonna be cooking too. See, that's another thing about you tellers. Before I let this play, family, have y'all ever seen a stupid person that thought they had so much common sense? Have you ever just listened to them like, you know what? I'm not even gonna interrupt you. Let me just let you do your thing. This ought to be good. I got to hear this. I want you to keep that in mind when she started talking.
We think about the pay. We look, as immigrants, we look more so at the transfer rate. Like, for instance, I am from Guyana. $1 US is 200 Guyana dollars. So we come here, or undocumented immigrants come here. They don't know about the Fair Wages Act. They don't know anything of the sort. All they know is that they need a job, and they need a job real quick in order to take care of themselves and their families. So it's not necessarily, I don't see how we could blame it on them per se. in regards to the jobs that they're taking and the pay that they're getting in response.
It's a come up for you. Your presence. It's a come up for you. You coming over, it benefits you.
Oh, of course.
How does it? It doesn't benefit us. And this.
Yes, they do, because undocumented immigrants has paid $11.6 billion in taxes in 2017, and this is according to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy. Undocumented
but the money is
immigrants,
extrapolated from us anyway. So
they pay taxes and they contribute to the American economy.
Oh, what she's talking about with the transfer rate, good brother Project Leroy. She's talking about them sending remittances back home, the transfer rate. A lot of our money goes a much further when you get outside of America, on the continent, parts of South America. That's what she's talking about. But see, listen to the asinine statement that this woman is making. Okay, you saying that they come here, they need to get a job real quick. Okay, no problem. Understand it. You got to have a way to support yourself. But what often happens is, because this is the truth, see, they don't really want nobody. You know what? One day I need to probably go ahead and dig into them hard numbers. I need to do that and just show it. So I'll show y'all how to shut them up with the hard numbers across the board. Not no damn percentages. We'll look at the raw numbers. So what I'm saying is, the problem is you come here, that's one thing to get started, but their mindset stays there. So if you have foundational Black Americans coming along saying, hey, listen, nah, these low-wage jobs, we gonna do them jobs. You gonna pay us what we worth. You gonna at least pay minimum wage, all right? And then on top of that, if we have certifications or degrees or whatever, we're not gonna just accept working for less than what we've earned. You with the, I got to call it that, tell the class, your cockroach mindset, a roach is grateful to get a crumb off the table that field. And then the sad part about it, they always talking about how much betterness they doing over here. You ever seen a group of these tellers over here get to fighting over something, man? Yeah, I'm going here with it. Because see, they bring that failed off-code mentality from their homelands over here, and just like you couldn't get on code to make nothing happen over there, when you got any type of real power, when you come over here, it's the same thing. So what I'm saying is, if you have no track record of wins, if you have no track record of success, what are you doing dictating to the people that are known worldwide, foundational Black American freedmen, for making what? Something out of nothing. All of you gathered in here got a family member that you can remember that specialized in that. Especially when they go back to our elders. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to make it work. We'll figure it out. You see what I'm saying? And then you teach that to generations as time goes on. When you are faced with hard times, you don't think, okay, well, it's so hard, let me quit. No, you be like, my great-grandparents went through way worse than this. I know how to make this work. See, you don't have that in you. You don't. I say it again. We are not the same, but hey, let's let Bright Eyes continue talking here.
Tax dollars were extrapolated from foundational Black Americans. So it's a circular thing. They're not benefiting us by paying the taxes that were taken from us anyway.
Exactly. And I also want to say, as a teacher, there are English as a second language programs that immigrants, children of immigrants, usually in the country legally in South Carolina, they put billions of dollars into that program. And guess which department that program is under? The Department of Civil Rights. Which group of people were the people who led to the Department of Civil Rights? My ancestors. Yet, when Black American kids are struggling to read, when they need more support, there are no special programs set aside for us. My people spoke another language. We spoke Gullah. Some of the old people here still speak Gullah Geechee. Excuse me, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you.
Hold that thought. I'm coming to you, Kenda.
We spoke Gullah Geechee or Sea Island Creole. They're putting billions of dollars investing in the children of illegal immigrants. Class sizes are exploding, yet a lot of those illegal immigrants are not paying taxes to help finance more resources for those schools. Even more programs that should be developed for my people, who are the people that built this country. Sam, you talk about us having nothing and no opportunities. Black Americans went through that for centuries. We stayed here and fought for our rights. We are not helping people if they just could come here instead of investing in their own nation, or helping our people when they could just import cheap labor instead of investing in American workers.
Hold that thought, Marcel.
And see, let me tell you something that I love about the point that Brother Marcel just made there. A lot of you may or may not know, but Brother Marcel, before he decided to run for Congress, this brother is a former educator in the public school system, okay? So he knows what he's talking about firsthand. Can't nobody tell him something that he knows. And see, I'm making this point because each and every one of you in here, no matter what your occupation is, your profession, okay, your educational level, your background, all of that, all of it can be used for our empowerment. See, this is one of the first times as a people that we're starting to look at ourselves that way. Okay, I don't care whether it's a farmer, because you damn sure need farmers to eat, brothers and sisters in technology, okay, former combat veterans, all right, brothers that are good in the skilled trades. Everybody's saying, okay, you know what? Nobody wants to ally with us. Everybody's turned on us. Fine, no problem. We're going to look at what we have amongst us to operate and codify and use it for our empowerment and the better of our people. We are not fighting anybody else's battles. Them capes are off. We handing the capes to y'all. You say you do so much better than us. Here you go, Kendall Villosa and Stuttering Samuel. Tie your capes on. Get busy. Show us how it's done. It's your time to shine. We are cheering on from the sidelines. It would be better if you would take them capes and fly your little running ass back over to your homeland and get it popping over there, and then you could really brag. But at least get started here. We waiting to see it. This is your time to shine. Affirmative action is gone. It's wide open. You should be happy like we are. We ain't tripping. We're like, all right, good riddance. Now you can show us how much harder you work. Yes, they really can. Let's let them continue.
Kendra, go ahead.
I was saying so you're running for office and you're putting yourself in a great difference, whether you want to believe it or not. They pay their taxes and they contribute to the U.S. economy. Because I have never met an immigrant that came into my office and doesn't have tax returns, right? So we're going to make that very clear that they do contribute. How come you didn't contribute?
Well, that thought, Tariq, let her complete her thought. Go ahead, Kendra.
No, I'm done. He could go ahead.
Okay, how come you didn't contribute those taxes and those contributions to your homeland of Guyana?
Because we don't pay taxes in Guyana. Our government deals with it. We have free education. We have free healthcare. We don't pay taxes. That's why.
Now, this is the part where I must indulge in my male chauvinist behavior. Again, she gets a pass because she's a woman, okay? But bragging about we don't pay taxes, we have free health care, we have free this, free that. See, you can give a woman a pass for making that statement because she doesn't realize that, okay, maybe that's one of the reasons why you had to flee your homeland. You don't have an infrastructure in place to organize your financial resources. What few you have to start building. You see how that works? Again, she's a woman. And no disrespect to my sisters in here, because we have some brilliant sisters. What I'm saying with her, this tether class, this tether winch right here, okay? What I'm saying with her is she doesn't realize how stupid that statement was. See, they're so far removed from caring about anything back home. All they're worrying about is, can I get here? If I get here, the hell with the rest of y'all. So don't you believe that bullshit that they always talking about, oh, they so proud of where they're from. No, you're not. Because see, a people that's proud of where they're from, they're like, hey, I might have made it out, but I got family members back home. I got countrymen back home. And then beyond just the functioning adults that made it out, if you are really a credit to your lineage and your race, I want y'all to hear me on this, because we know it is Foundational Black American Freedmen. But if you're really a credit to your lineage and your race, yes, you want to live a good life. You do the best you can for yourself. Nobody knocks that. But at some point, you start looking back, what am I going to leave behind for the younger generation? We're supposed to be trying to build something for them. And it is more admirable to try to build something and be sabotaged like we have than to never try at all. These people don't even know when to be ashamed of their behavior. But see, what have I always taught y'all over here? If you have no honor, then you have no shame. They have no honor. So again, she gets a pass for saying it as a woman. But DJ Turntable Mouth, no, brother. You should know better. You're supposed to be one of the builders in your society. Let's let it continue.
My book, one of the topics is taxes because it's a very foreign language.
Okay, well, guess what? Guyana sounds like a great place to be. So why are some people coming over here? Let me say something really quick. It has been
I don't know how quick you gonna say it, Marcel, but go ahead.
I want to say,
and let's not put the focus.
hold on. You say
Hold on, let me hear what Kenda. Let's not put the fault on who, Kenda. Go ahead.
No, I was saying let's not put the focus on me, because at the end of the day, I am a documented immigrant, and believe it or not, I am going. Like Samuel said, we don't have opportunities. Granted, I came here, I got my education, and my plan really is to return to my home country.
Bold face lie. You are never going back home. You're not going back, Kendall Velosa. No, you're not. You're not. And see, you bragging about, I'm a documented immigrant. You proud of that? Because see, you don't really understand what you're saying. You're saying you proud to have fled from your homeland where the greater majority of your men did not find it worthy enough to build opportunities, so you didn't have to leave. You see what I'm saying? Again, this goes back to having honor in order to have shame. See, we recognize it. We're sitting here laughing because we're like, you really think that's something to be proud of? Really? And then you bring that foolishness amongst us when we combat this white supremacy on our own land to get what we are owed and what we are due and what we know we deserve. You bring your mentality. You should all just be grateful. No. We are not the same. We are not the same.
That's the end.
That's the problem right there. That's the problem right there.
Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem?
Wait a minute.
I came here, I paid my dues, I paid my taxes,
thanks.
I paid for my
I go down?
education.
When things go
Why is that a
bad in
problem?
when things go bad in the United States of America, the first thing a lot of immigrants want to do is run. They get their other passport and they want to return to their country, and they leave Black Americans, other Black immigrants, about here by ourselves. I also want to say, I know there's been this thing about immigrants, legal and illegal, bring jobs. Guess what? There has not been one study showing that they are bringing jobs that hire Black Americans. There have been studies shown, and you can look up Duke University did a study in 2006, 2007, showing that a lot of illegal immigrants, these were mainly Hispanics, Latinos, said over 70%, and this is Greenville, South Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, Black Americans were not hardworking, were lazy, were problematic, commit a lot of crimes. Over 70% of them said that. So not only is illegal immigrant taking resources from Black Americans, they are also coming here with anti-Black views that they bring from their home nations. And even some Black immigrants come here with anti-Black American views. That has been shown in survey after survey. They'll be told, don't hang around.
Let me ask Samuel here. Thank you, Marcel. Let me ask Samuel, do you believe that immigrants, documented or undocumented, have anti-racist, have racist views of American Blacks?
I mean, I think that statement is too broad of a statement to be true. If you say there are a few or there are some, that may be a more accurate statement, but I cannot say whether I deny or prove that statement. I mean, it may be, but I don't think that's something that we should put on all immigrants that come here. I mean, you know, these folks are hard work. Go ahead.
No, I
never said all.
Tariq, listen, Kenda has a point when she says, why are we blaming the immigrants? It's not the immigrants' fault. It is America's fault. So this is what America has allowed. So why are we mad at immigrants?
And as I started off the segment, I said white supremacist culture will weaponize them. I always put the blame on white supremacist culture because they used immigration as a form to undermine us. Black people in the 1960s, that's when we first started to put the cape on for Black immigrants because we wanted more Black people to come over here to act as reinforcements in the civil rights movement. We had great people like Stokely Carmichael and others who were riding with Foundational Black Americans, and we thought we need more of those brothers and sisters over here. We were pushing the Pan-Africanism line. When they started to allow other immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean to come over here, they started to screen them and made sure they brought the ones over here who had an anti-Foundational Black American mentality so that they can use them against us. So it has become a problem now that the people that's coming over from Africa and the Caribbean, they're not acting as reinforcement. They look at us as another hostile tribe. And we're now realizing we can't have that type of energy from them or any other immigrant group.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Now, talk about that point that our good brother Tariq just made. All right. So now the way he stated that's cut and dry, easy for anybody to understand. But see, every time that we point that out and we say, hey, no, this is zero tolerance on that, we get called what? We know the term, don't we? Divisive. Okay. If you're going to call us divisive, basically, if we don't sit here and let you come over here and undermine us and disrespect us, that's divisive. All right, cool. Let's go with that. If a group of us went to your countries and did the exact same behavior, see, this is the part they don't really want to talk about. If we go to any of their nations and exhibit the exact same tether class behavior, go over there and tell them what they shouldn't have, what they not deserving, okay, get in their government, undermine their people, okay, work with their oppressors and their enemies, they would not be sitting here talking about, hey, and then we turn around and gaslight them and tell them, hey, you being divisive now. You don't let me disrespect you and undermine you. You being divisive. Look, every time Martin Luther King Day comes around, you see these Caribbean and continental African tellers, mostly. Even the white people don't even see them doing that. But what do they always do? They got a picture of Martin Luther King with gold teeth in his mouth, just disrespectful as hell. Now, to go to show you where, again, they don't have any honor, so they can't exhibit shame. I get that. You don't even see us mocking any of their icons over there. In fact, we honor them more than they do. Winnie Mandela, Nelson Mandela, Patrice Lumumba, okay? Robert Mugabe, all right? I could name on and on, okay? We don't disrespect those of them that are from the continent that fought for their people, but they come over here and find that funny, and I'm going to tell you where that comes from, right? See, this is what a lot of our people miss when it comes to their behavior. The reason why they do that, they study white supremacist behavior. I've told you many times, all you got to do is look online. You see a lot of them from Caribbean and African nations using that damn Pepe the Frog meme. We know that's a blatant white supremacist symbol. They imitate those people because in their heads, they're little dark-skinned white people. That's what they actually think they are. See, it shouldn't surprise us, especially when you look at the continent, okay? Do you know how many of those nations are still a part of the British Commonwealth by choice? I think I've gone into that enough on this channel, especially one of my previous broadcasts that I did where I showed you the history. Okay, look at that broadcast that I did, the Devil's True Face, all right? Look at that broadcast. That history right there, a lot of them don't even know anything about it. It's sad that some of us know more about their history than they do. See, all of this ties together because, see, this is what we've been stressing here in New Black Media Spaces. You get your culture together, you respect your culture, you appreciate it, you start to learn who you really are, and then you can get some things done, and then you don't have any tolerance for people disrespecting us. Family, do you know how much of a remarkable people we are? The things that we survive, that's not bragging. That's something that if we wanted to brag about, we would be well within our rights to. Nobody can say that they've done the things we've done here on this land, okay? Are there some off code amongst us? Yes, we called them out. The difference is they come over here, they know who their coons are, but they don't let us know anything until they get to trying to sabotage us. We're like, hey, oh, wait a minute. That's why we're always asking, hey, where your family from? They don't like that. Because see, it's basically the equivalent of us getting our culture under control and closing the gates on outsiders. You start undermining us, we identify you, isolate you, get you out the paint. See, before that was the tactic. They come over here looking like us, and then it'd be easy for them to blend in and sabotage us, okay? But see, that's over. That's over. You're going to catch hell trying to get the next generation to go along with that because they're learning from those of us that are considered elders in the community, okay? And they are not afraid to challenge the things that are undermining us. Just because you look like me, that don't mean anything if you're not on code with me. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, they really don't like this time that we're in, but see, they ain't seen nothing yet because just like these white supremacists are circling their wagons, Foundational Black American Freedmen are circling ours. Let it continue.
Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I'm Tammy Mack, and the business of being Black today is illegal immigration. Is it harming America? Please welcome managing attorney at the Elira Law Firm and candidate Prince George's County Councilman at Large, Samuel Q. Elira, educator and South Carolina 6th U.S. Congressional District candidate, George, or rather Greg, Marcel Dixon, managing attorney at Valauza and Associates, Kenda Valauza, and film director and producer Tariq Nasheed is with us today. Kenda, do you believe that there is a racism attached to immigrants based off of the perception of Black Americans in America?
I'm going to shut that down right now, Tammy. That is not true. The whole reason we in the Caribbean, we don't even understand racism. We don't deal with racism. When we come to America, that's when we realize, okay, wait, we're Black and this person is white and this person is this and this person is that. We don't deal with racism. So
if you don't understand racism and white supremacy, everything else will confuse you. You see, let me say something to you, Tellers. Because see, we have a lot of young listeners that come over here to this platform from all around the world, okay? Let me be clear in my language. When you come to someone else's homeland and you're a guest there, you don't know the lay of the land, you need to find someone that does and get the game from them. See, the more that they talk, and this is why I'm glad that this was done and it was left up where we can go back and review this, okay? Because at times you need to go back and study game footage so that you can make better plays in the present and the future, okay? A lot of you tellers that sit here saying these types of things, we don't understand racism. Did you ever stop to think that that might be the problem why you can't get together in your homeland? See, what a lot of them have not caught on to, and it's astonishing how they don't get this, okay, in large numbers. But the younger ones actually get it. They're not willing to play along with the goofiness. That's one thing I'll give them credit for. But for the older ones, what they end up doing is this. They say, I'm in a country where everybody looks like me. Okay, so the problem must be us. Oh, we just can't get together. We actually need the white folks. No, fool. The puppet leaders are the ones that the white supremacists put in place. So if you understood racism and white supremacy and how it operates globally, you could get them out the paint and then start to get on code and build where you from. It's like pulling teeth, trying to get them to understand that. You can show them history. You can show them present day numbers. Hey, look at this. This is why this is happening where you are. What are you going to do about it? Hey, nigga, I don't care about that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to flee. Yeah, that's what they do. They flee bag. Get the boy. I'm telling you, boy. You know what? I tell you one thing we need to do with them. Because, see, I might be being a bit harsh. Family, what do y'all think? Should we get an Olympic sport, you know, like running on water? Because I actually believe that they're so fast, they get their little feet to turning, the little tiller toes to turning, they can actually run across oceans. Just running. I'm just saying, listen, man, it is what it is, man. I got to call this what it is. This is shameful. But, hey, we going to let Bright Eyes here keep talking here because your boy, she really think that what she's saying is making sense. Ridiculous.
I don't understand where he's getting that information from, but I'm yet to meet an immigrant. The ones from the country that I've came from, the ones that I've been working with as my clients that has spoken any single thing negative about Black America. And a matter of fact, if you were to bring up any conversation about racism with an immigrant, they will tell you, I'm staying out of that because we don't know anything like that. We're not familiar with racism.
Tariq, go ahead.
In the Caribbean, there's so much racism over there, especially in those Hispanic countries where they treat the Black people like trash.
Exactly.
In those Caribbean countries, they're running around with cake soap, trying to lighten themselves up. That's a reflection of the racism that's there. Those places are colonized. You go there, it's East Indians and Asians running everything over there. They know exactly what racism is. That's why they're trying to get out of there to come over here to the people who fight racism, which is Foundational Black Americans.
Now, you see how this brother broke that down with nothing but facts, not feelings, not assumptions. This is what's going on because, see, here's the thing. If she didn't understand racism and white supremacy, then why is all that bleach going around? You know why? You trying to bleach to look like the people that you think are above you. Do you know how much of a broken mind you got to have? Because, see, family, listen, I know we've been covering some serious subject matter over here, but I got a broadcast coming up, boy. They gonna really hate me. Y'all gonna laugh your ass off because the whole broadcast, we ain't gonna cover nothing serious. It's just gonna be some clowning because it's long overdue for us to get some clowning on. Be looking for that broadcast. When you see the thumbnail, you gonna know which one it is because I am not, boy. When I drop that one, boy, listen, don't eat or drink watching that because I've gathered some things that I just have to show you. Since they don't want to be humble, we're going to give them all the reason to be humble. We're going to get the Tellers, the white supremacists, all of them. Even the ratchets amongst us, we're going to give all of them a reason to be humble with an upcoming broadcast. But my point is this. If you didn't understand anything about the differences between treatment of skin color, what's the bleaching for? You wouldn't even have any of that going on. You really wouldn't. So, I mean, see, it's simple to beat them with the truth. The truth doesn't need to be complex. All you have to do is just present the truth as it is, and it's its own weapon. Okay? But see, these people right here, man, like I said, you cannot build with those that have that kind of mindset. It's sad. Let's let it continue.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. First and foremost, these folks, the idea that these folks from these other countries have about America, they have a perspective like this is the greatest land in the world, and money grows on trees. Like they have such love and for America. So there's no racism or any negative mindset like that.
But the question is that white America or is that America?
America
in general. And listen. When we talk about the fight of racism, let's not forget. Like I said, I'm from Haiti, and if you don't know much about Haiti, the first Black freed republic, where slaves revolted and took over the island, fought Napoleon Bonaparte, kicked out the British, all right, the French. So we know about racism.
I got to interrupt them because see, yes, Samuel. We know what happened in 1804. The brother on the panel, Tariq Nasheed, put out a documentary about it. Your people didn't do that first. You know why? Because you don't really, as a collective, respect that history. And I'm going to twist this dagger in, family. Because, see, I want to point out things that a lot of our people don't say, okay? To Samuel and any of the rest of the tellers that start trying to bring up their past icons that were actually on code and actually trying to fight against racism and white supremacy, okay? Here's what was shameful about it. Can any of them today say that they're living up to that legacy and honoring it? Can they? Because we clearly see the answer is no. So you really do yourself a disservice by even mentioning that. The only way that they were able to overthrow their oppressors on the island of Haiti at the time, they didn't do it by hauling ass. Did Dessalines and Toussaint L'Ouverture, did they say, hey guys, the French, we you know what, we can't beat them, we got to just haul ass. Did they all take off and run? No. They stood their ground and said, listen, damn it, this belongs to us. Whichever way it's going to go, we going to get free or die trying. You don't come from that, Samuel. You don't. Yeah, I'm going there with it. See, it's time to humble them, man. They spent too long with their chest puffed out about nothing. Imagine that's like the worst team in any sports league. Never been to the big game and won the championship. Standing up, parading around with your chest out like you got something to be proud of. Man, if you don't sit your tethery ass down somewhere, oh man, let's let it continue.
America has not been kind to Haiti.
And you have to understand why. Because after the slave revolution, we was giving free citizenship to folks to come to Haiti, and we was going out, helping other folks freeing their islands, whether it's Argentina. We fought in so many different countries, civil wars, and allowed them to gain their freedom. So of course there's no love there for us.
Are you still doing that today, Samuel? Are you? Are you doing that today as a collective? You don't even want us a part of CARICOM, but yet you'll come over here. Hey, all of us should get reparations. Samuel, again, you shame yourself because none of you as a collective are continuing what your ancestors tried to put in place. You're not. So you really should be quiet about it. You don't honor the history if you're not continuing the legacy. Now, in contrast, when you look at Foundational Black Americans, we're continuing what our elders and ancestors started. Not only that, we hold them in high esteem. When you say the name Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakina, even though he wasn't of our bloodline, he was a writer, okay? When you mention certain names, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I could go on and on. I'll be here all night long. We honor these people because their work, even our living elders, okay? Neely Fuller Jr., Dr. Claude Anderson, their work has set the blueprint for us to follow, okay? Those of us that are on code. You don't even hear them talk about their ancestors and elders like that unless they're talking about something like this. But see, they can usually only name one or two, and all you have to do to humble them and say, okay, great. We honor and respect what they did too. Are you today continuing in their legacy? Let's let it continue.
You gotta tell the whole story.
Hold that thought. My question becomes, you just explained how other countries, and particularly your own Haiti, thinks of America, how it's this wonderful, beautiful land, and then money grows on trees, and there's freedom and this. And I say, but America's not been kind to your people. And you say, yeah, but you got to understand why. But why would your people want to enter a country that's not been kind to them?
I think what it is the lack of opportunity. There's nothing. So, and the point I was trying to make earlier, I have cousins who've graduated, with masters of different to high top degrees, but yet there's nothing there, no work, no nothing. They cannot support their family. So imagine if they're able to go to somewhere where they could even work at McDonald's or make any type of living at all for their family. They will take that opportunity, notwithstanding the fact that they have these degrees. And that's the point of that. I think that's the core of the point we was trying to make. It wasn't, more so that we're coming here and taking over jobs, or we don't think that African Americans here don't work. It's just that it's a different mindset for these other folks coming from these other countries.
Marcel, you have to agree that there has to be a different mindset from someone coming from a country that lacks everything that America has to offer. There has to be a different mindset. Just like in America, when you come from a poor neighborhood, your mindset is different than when you're growing up with a silver spoon in your mouth. So you have to agree that there's a completely different mindset.
Salute to the good brother Keith B for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. But see, let me stop and point something out here, right? I have to give China credit because, see, let's go over what the Chinese did to go from so-called third world to first world, arguably the largest, most functional economy on earth right now. Debatable, but hey, they're there. They're in the game. What they did when they decided to, again, white supremacists, go to show you how white supremacy is a cancer. They decided to take all the jobs, the manufacturing jobs away from here because they didn't want black people to work. Okay, that's really the main reason. You niggas don't need these jobs. We'll take them out from over here. Okay, we'll go get cheap labor somewhere else. They thought they were so smart. They was going to jump over to China, exploit them with their cheap labor. The Chinese said, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they put that bowl of chow mein down and said, look here, white supremacists. This is what you going to do. You going to come over here and bring your little fucking companies over here and exploit my cheap people labor? Yeah, you can do it, but you must partner with a Chinese business that does exactly what you do. So this means now you got to open up your blueprints so we can see what you're doing. Hence the invention of the copy to China plan. Remember little old Agent Orange Trump? He was pissed off because, see, you thought you were going to go over there and make a fool out of him. I got to salute him for that. They're like, oh, no, we finna come up. They got them blueprints. Hey, iPhone, Sly phone. Everything that they had, they made a knockoff version of it and sold it at a cheaper price. That's hustling right there. Listen, man, I got to salute that. So now I'm saying that to state this. If the Chinese can do it, why the hell can't you do it where you from, Stuttering Sammy and other tethers? Why you can't do it? You saw it? Hey, it worked for them. Look, you could at least say, hey, man, I've been over here in America. Let me show you how they do this. Let's set up a little bootleg version of what they got going back home and make it your own shit. See, listen, you well within your rights to do it because look what they did to your homelands. You don't ever fight fair when somebody's dealing with you unfairly. And they go high, you go to the depths of hell if you have to. They don't have that hustle spirit. And see, what Tammy Matt was talking about somebody that comes from meager existences, yeah, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be hungry to get out of that and do better and make sure you never return to that. A lot of them, they come over here and just accept the bare minimum, then have the nerve to poke your chest out. What you got to brag about? The few of them that are doing exceptionally well, either they already came from money where they from, or they get over here and they'll get a job that Foundational Black Americans have been getting. We've been doctors. We've been lawyers over here. You ain't did nothing. Look, show me one thing, just one to the class that you've been able to do that we haven't already done. We look. A lot of things you come over here and get into, we broke ground on it, so you could have the opportunity to get in there. You have no right to poke your chest out at us with disrespect. But hey, we gotta let this continue because y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, this is a completely different mindset. All right. One, I want to say something. Kenda, Guyana has historic racism between Indians and the Black Guyanese people there. So you know racism very well. Two, my platform talks about holding employers accountable that hire illegal immigrants. So I am going after the companies. And three, Tammy, yes, there is a different mindset, and that there is the problem. We as Black Americans, descendants of American slaves, we are freedmen as we're called, we have historically fought for what we are owed from the American government. We had many opportunities to leave. We had the opportunity to go to Liberia. Abraham Lincoln wanted to send us to South America and the Caribbean. And even in more moderate times, some people said we should go to Mexico because we can get better opportunities there. We resisted all those things and said, no, we're going to fight for what we are due here. Unfortunately, some Black immigrants come here and their attitude is, I just want to make a living and do good for myself. They don't come here with the attitude that I'm going to help Black Americans fight for what they're due.
But why should they? I don't understand why they should.
That's what I'm about to get to right now. Oh, man, you just asked a good question.
That's what they're ready for.
Samuel Elira being from Haiti, he should definitely be coming here wanting to side with Black Americans. Because when the U.S. invaded Haiti, it was Black American soldiers who refused to participate in that invasion. Matter of fact, Black Americans gathered and petitioned United Nations to get out of Haiti. When any other continent, Ethiopia was being conquered, Black Americans armed ourselves, even though we were going through our own struggles, and we went over there and helped Ethiopians fight against the Italians. But when Black immigrants come here, not all of them, but some of them, they don't join in our battles for reparations the government owes us. They sometimes side with these anti-Black politicians and will buy into anti-Black American stereotypes.
All right, hold that thought, Marcel. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Kenda, I know you have something to say on that.
No, I don't know where he is getting that information from, but you know, you did ask the question, Tammy. Why should immigrants come to America and pick up and get into the fight for Black Americans? Coming here and going to college in the United States, I realized that when I would talk anything or try to get into any American politics, Black Americans, they would tell me, you know what, you're not qualified to speak on this topic because you're an immigrant. You don't understand the struggles. You don't this, you don't that. And I've maintained not even discussing anything about Black America, the politics. I have nothing to say about Black Americans. Like I said, I haven't met any immigrant that had anything negative to say about Black Americans. So I'm not sure where Marcel is getting his information from.
Okay, well, Kenda, whatever your name is, I'm going to tell you why they probably told you to mind your business. Because, see, most of the time, what happens is you end up cooning. We don't want to hear nothing a damn coon got to say. Then you add on top of it, you had to flee from where you were from. And then the last lie she just told, I've never heard any immigrants talk bad about Black Americans. Use a bold-faced lie. Stop that. That's like a white person saying, I've never heard any other white person say anything anti-Black racist about a Black American. You a bold-faced lie. Because, see, this is another difference between them and us. Every foundational Black American in this chat room, because I know it was this way in my family, okay? One of my family members is actually in here. We never were raised to talk bad about any other group of people, especially those that look like us. We weren't raised to talk bad about continental Africans, Caribbean people, South America. We wasn't. The only thing we were warned and cautioned about was racism and white supremacy to a certain extent, especially by our great-grandparents and grandparents, okay, in my family. But as far as we sitting around the table, the Black immigrants are lazy, this, that. No, our people don't talk like that. In other words, think about it. Y'all tell me if I'm lying. Everybody in here that had the honor and pleasure of knowing any of their grandparents on either side of their family, they were always the most welcoming people. Always. That's something that was passed down. That type of hospitable mindset, especially down in the South, that's been passed down through our bloodline. We treat you how we want to be treated. But see, instead, when you come over here, after we help you up, it kind of reminds you of that old story about the snake that was out in the cold. And then, the snake said, hey, mister, please take me in. I'm out here freezing to death. I promise I won't bite you. The man go out there, take him in, okay? Like, yeah, it's a snake. I don't know if I should try to take him in. Snake get warm, get good and fed. And then the first thing the snake do when he back to vitality is go over and bite him. The man looks up, hey, why'd you bite me? Now, you knew I was a snake. And you brought me in this house. This is exactly what the collective of them have been like, that damn snake. And we're kicking ourselves because we're like, you know what? In hindsight, we really should have never fought for you to have the right to come over here. We instead of us thinking about, hey, we'll have reinforcement, we should have just told it low by ourselves. Because to be honest, as a collective, you haven't helped us out. What the hell have you done? We're not talking about a handful of individuals. As a collective, what have you done to further the empowerment of Black people and fight racism and white supremacy? Can't fight something you want to assimilate into. Sad, man, but let's let it continue.
And this is the
I can name one.
Let Tariq go ahead.
And listen, Foundational Black Americans, we've always fought for all of these other groups, even though we go through our struggle here. The Black Seminoles went down into Mexico fighting to help protect the Mexican border. You had Black people like David Fagan, who went over to the Philippines and defected from the US Army and defended the Filipinos when they were being attacked by the US government. You had people like Muhammad Ali, who put his career on the line because he refused to fight the people over there in Vietnam. You always have Black people putting on the cape and putting their lives on the line to fight for other groups in other countries. But when they come over here, the whole thing is, well, why should we help you? We're trying to get ours. And that is the problem.
Samuel, go ahead. Samuel.
I think it's Martin Luther King who said this: injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. I don't think we should have, Marcel, we should have a mindset where, we should be so negative towards, folks from these other countries. I mean, listen, we know what Black Americans went through here. I mean, 400 plus years of slavery, Jim Crow. We know what went here, and we know the injustice that continue to happen to us while we all here. So we all are in this together. So I think that we have to be supportive and collaborative. We all should come together in reparation for folks in America. Yes, of course we support that. I mean, we cannot sit here looking the way we are and not appreciate what folks have the struggle that.
And here's the problem.
Family. I'm gonna tell you what y'all want to know what my problem is with Sammy boy over here. Oh, Samuel, you want to know what my problem is with him? Sammy, I have to take issue with you, because see, brother, you have a powerful weapon on your side. You have a sonic stutter that you could use to confuse the white supremacists, but you will not do that on our behalf. That's my issue that I have with you. Yeah, I had to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, we're going to have some fun over here while we're breaking this down. I got to get him. Damn it. Sarah, you going to get this work, boy?
Problem, Sam, that the narrative is that we're all in this together until you get resources for your group. We're all in this together unless it's something negative. Now, if it's something negative, we all have to absorb all of the negativity that comes from all these different Black groups. If you get a PhD, you become a scholar, then you separate yourselves from us. So that's another narrative that we have to get into.
Hold that thought. We got to go to commercial break. I think Black Americans start separating themselves too when they get them PhDs. But we'll talk about it when we come back on Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I'm Tammy Mack, and the business of being Black today is immigration harming America. Woo! Friday, a district judge ruled that the Biden administration must continue to turn away migrants due to the COVID-19 related health measure first implemented under former President Donald Trump. A judge agreed that if the order is lifted, it will hurt the states by increasing costs related to healthcare, driving license, education, and increasing migrant numbers at the border. What do we think about this, Tariq?
I think that they should turn people away because, again, We have to absorb a lot of negative stuff that comes through. A lot of these undocumented immigrants are coming over here with COVID, spreading COVID. We don't know who they are. We can't trace them. We can't track them, among other things. So yeah, I agree with that. That's the one thing I agree with the Biden administration, which I don't like the Biden administration at all because of the benign neglect policies they have against foundational Black Americans. But that's one thing I do agree with.
Well, I mean, this was implemented under Donald Trump's administration, so you can still hate the Biden administration if you like.
Yes, indeed.
It gives you permission to continue to hate the Biden administration. Immigrant rights.
I hope y'all caught that, because see, that goes to show you. I got to get you, Tammy. I got to get you, Tammy. She threw that line in there about Trump because you can tell these Democratic shields, when you get to calling out one of them particular political parties, no matter whether it's a conservative shield or a liberal shield, they start going into tap dance and defend mode. Tammy, what you defending the Biden administration for, sweetie? What you defending them for? I would love to hear what she thinks of the Biden administration currently. I would love to hear it. Because I would, listen, tell you something right now. I dare anybody to defend these bastards and do it on in good faith and showing me where they've enacted any type of policies. What did you get out of it, in other words? If you was one of these Biden citizens you ran out there and voted for, what did you get out of there? You didn't get no return on investment. You know who did? The Asians, the Hispanic, the LGBTQ. Oh, yeah, they got plenty of grab bags of goodies for everybody, except for us. Oh, but see, Biden sexuals, we tried to tell you. Y'all was running around talking about those of us over in New Black Media. We didn't know what we was talking about. Oh, yeah. Hey, how'd that work out for you? But hey, let's let it continue.
Rights advocates have argued that Title 42 is illegal because it prevents people from exercising their international right to claim asylum. And the decision delivered a blow to the administration's plan to end the controversial program on May 23rd. So what are your thoughts about this, Kenda?
I support the advocates. At the end of the day, the asylum process is in court. If you lock immigrants out, you leave them in Mexico, then they have no access to immigration attorneys. They have no access to the judicial system. And, you know, even though there's judges, in those situations, they do Zoom court or whatever the situation is. It leaves immigrants at a disadvantage, because really and truly, there are immigrants who are fleeing gang violence, they're fleeing rape, they're fleeing domestic violence, and they deserve a day in court, and they deserve their representation in court. And if they're there and immigration attorneys are here to represent them, then how do we get access to them? How do we make sure that they're getting the justice that they deserve through the immigration court system?
And why is that our responsibility to do that for them? Why don't they do that in their homeland?
Because immigration laws.
Let Kenda answer the question since it was posed to her. Go ahead, Kenda.
No, I'm saying because immigration law exists. There's immigration laws. And so that's why they should have access to the immigration court. There's immigration laws, there's immigration court, there's immigration judges. So these things are in place by the federal government for them to have the benefits of it. And what benefit would they have if they're out in Mexico, unable to get the access to the courts or the judges or the lawyers to try their cases?
Go ahead, Samuel.
I was going to suggest to Tariq, you forget that the United States has a role in the destruction of if not, I don't want to say every country out there, but a majority of these countries out there who are impoverished and who are suffering. The United States played a role in that. So yes, they should come in and save and give incentives to this country. But here's what I don't agree with.
We know it, Samuel. We've been trying to drill that into your heads for the longest time. Your puppet leaders are supported by the white supremacists. That's how they're able to keep it going. But do you fight that at home? You don't even fight it over here. Listen, I get it. You go to Haiti, you go to some of these African nations, okay? You go there and you start running your mouth about their politics. If your money ain't right and you don't have a team, that is a life or death issue. So I get why you don't speak out there, but now you over here. There's different things that you could be doing here to help the situation. You ain't doing that. You're not Mixed Master Mouth. You can't make me believe that you are. Because if you were, I'm going to tell you how I know neither one of them is really doing anything to help people back home where they're from. You ready for this, family? See, it's so simple to deal with them. This is light work. The reason why you know neither one of them are doing anything is because look how much they brag when they accomplish something mediocre. If these people were really doing anything of merit, of consequence that you could see on a grand scale, you couldn't stop them from talking about it. That's how you know right there. Let's let it continue.
Hold on, Tariq. Hold on.
What I don't agree with is the inconsistency across the board with which the opportunities that are presented. Because you see with the Ukraine and these different type of European countries, they've given them, free access. So you could come here, have free work visa and these different type of things. But then when the Haitians came in the border, these other people who seek the same opportunity, they are turned away and they are treated like slave or less than. So that's an issue. That's the inconsistency that I have issue with.
And another thing that's inconsistent, they always try to say, well, the US, they indirectly harmed these countries, but the countries that really harmed the Caribbean, some of these other South American islands, Spain and France, y'all never go there. Why is that?
There's a question posed to me, so we never go there?
Yes. How come y'all don't go to the countries that directly colonized you?
Well, here's what I will say about, if I can speak on the Haitians. I mean, if you look, Florida is only a few minutes from Haiti, so it's proximity.
They like to travel.
On the t-shirt, on the tilt the teeth. Listen, I'm finna add something else onto it. Samuel and Kinda, why isn't CARICOM really pressing the issue about getting what they're due from those countries that did have a hand in harming them? But yet you come over here with your chest out and you come at us as if we're responsible for that. Oh yeah, see, boy. They better hope that I'm never a part of anything like this, because see, I'd be completely courteous, but I would be very snobbish with these facts, because see, when you hit people upside the head with the truth about history and present day, and then you know what you're talking about, this is how it's done right here. Let's let it continue.
It's shorter.
Land border.
I'm gonna take the
border
border
to Mexico. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's my answer. It's difficult to get to these other places to read.
Oh, okay. So the proximity, y'all just come to the place with the closest proximity.
And it makes sense because we have immigrants that are walking from Guatemala, from Honduras. So at the end of the day, it is proximity. How else, if they're poor, they're broke, they're fleeing from all the destruction, how are they supposed to get to Europe?
I got a better question, kinda. See, this is something that I want to put into the mental lexicon of our people. What if we were really like they said, we were just lazy, didn't work hard or anything? We wouldn't have accomplished any of what we've accomplished here in this nation. So let's just say that never happened. None of the things that we accomplished never happened. Where would they run to then? Because they keep claiming, oh, we're fleeing gang violence. Okay. If the United States, if we didn't fight for the opportunities that you have here, where would you go then? Would you be still coming here? Huh? Because see, let me go further with it. If we had not did what we did during the civil rights movement and forward, okay? In hindsight, looking back, that was one of the worst mistakes we made. And we made many, but we learned from our mistakes, okay? That's the true mark of intelligence. You learn from your mistakes. Here's a question that I want y'all to start hitting these tethers in the face with and watch them start the Samuel stutter there. If we didn't fight for these things, would you tethers that are so much smarter than us and work much harder than us, would you have fought to make them let you in the same way that we did here on your soil? Would you do that? Huh? Do you have it in you to do it? That's what I want to know. Oh, see, I'm telling you, man, you got to know how to hit them with the right question. Let's let it continue.
You can go to Brazil. You can go to Brazil. You're not going to Brazil. You're going here because you have a group of people, Foundational Black Americans, who's actually fighting racism and giving you the opportunity to come over here and be successful.
Brazilians come to America.
I would like to ask. That's an interesting point. So, Samuel, you gave kudos to Black America and all that they've gone through in America. But Kendall, I do want to ask you, amongst immigrants, and particularly those from Ghana, do you think that there is a sense of gratefulness and thankfulness for Black America? Because I've never heard that point that Tariq just made, that you come here because people are fighting for the freedoms of colored people. And I say colored because I'm speaking specifically of anyone of color, people of color. Is that a reason to come to America? Because you know that Black Americans consistently fight for the freedoms of colored people?
So just to correct you, I'm from Guyana.
Guyana,
Ghana.
I'm sorry.
Yes, but we come to this country, I could say it over and over, because of opportunities. And another reason is because of security. My clients, they always tell me that they come here because they know that the laws are in place and that the laws would protect them and that their countries are lawless. So that's the reason why they come here. The police force in Honduras, Guatemala, those countries, they collude with the criminals. So they come here specifically for protection. And again, they're not thinking about Black Americans. They're not thinking about
the problem.
Black Americans and their fight. They're fleeing for their
Hold on, let her
lives.
finish. Let her finish her thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. They're fleeing for their lives. I'm not saying that anyone sits there and Google the history and all of that. They just really want to come here for opportunities because, of everything that's happening in their country, because of all the insecurities. That's the only reason why they come here. Nobody picks up a book and try to figure out the racism situation and this and that. Everything that Marcel is saying and that Tyreek is saying is what they have all in their heads and what is discussed in the American society. But immigrants, they're so thankful for America. They see this place as their knight and shining armor, and they spend so much money and just trying to.
I got to interject. See, that's part of the problem. You come over here instead of being humble. If you was coming just for that reason, no problem. But you come here disrespectful and you're not humble. Again, I got to say it. If you had to bounce and you don't have all these things back home because you're not creating nothing, you got to be humble when you come and look at who provided opportunity. But see, when she made the statement, those people see America as that knight in shining armor. No. It's not America. You see white people as your knights in shining armor. Oh, I know how you look at these people. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, not all, but too many look at white folks as their saviors, which is the most schizophrenic, asinine thing ever. You just heard Stuttering Sammy Boy acknowledge that they're the reason their homelands are devastated, but you still see these people as the best thing since sliced bread? Make it make sense. That's insanity. Oh my God. But hey, let's let Bright Eyes continue.
Get to the land of opportunities. They're not thinking about, the Black Americans this and the Black Americans that, and that we're looking at them any lower. That's not the situation,
Marcel,
at all.
There is data showing that they actually do come here with anti-Black American racism. And just because these liberals, usually white liberals, and I'm running as a Democrat, but usually white liberals try to tell us that illegal immigration is so good for Black America, it's a lie. And 3, Samuel and Kendra, you both mentioned how they come from poverty and gang violence and drugs. Black Americans have gone through those same things for centuries that were inflicted upon our communities. So tell me, Kendra, or tell me, Samuel, where should we run away to? Where can we go to get refuge?
Well, I don't think you guys should. I don't think Black Americans should run away anywhere. I mean, this country was built on the backbones of Black Americans. So
why should immigrants leave their country then? If they built their nation, then they need to stay in their nation and build their nation up.
Well, Marcel, and here's the point that we're trying to make. You ignore or you fail to appreciate or acknowledge what Kendra and what I'm trying to impress upon you, that there are a lack of, and we keep saying opportunity. The rule of law in this country works. The rule of law works.
Not for Black Americans.
No.
Breonna Taylor just got killed. Breonna Taylor was killed in her apartment, not bothering a soul, and they got away with it. Amir Locke was sleeping, and they busted his apartment.
Let them finish, Marcel.
Botham John sitting in his home, minding his own business. Caribbean brother, they blew his brains out. And see, the reason why Stuttering Sammy, no, you shouldn't leave. You shouldn't go anywhere. Of course, we don't plan to, but see, here's the issue, Stuttering Sammy. You want to continue being a parasite. We know the country was built on our ancestors' backbone, okay? And it's still supported by our backbones to this day. but you're a damn barnacle on the backbone. You ain't doing nothing but being a parasite. That's the truth of it. That's the truth, Sammy boy. You being a parasite with ashy ass lips at that. Damn it. Hey, but let's let it continue.
Oh, go ahead, Samuel.
When I say the rule of law works, not to say we have a perfect criminal justice system. I'm an attorney, Ken is an attorney. We can tell you the criminal justice system is not perfect, but it works. It works, right? And compared to these other countries,
I have to say, Samuel, it's a little laughable to tell a black person in America that the rule of law works. But I'll tell you what does work, a commercial break right now. So we'll be right back on Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack on Fox Soul. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Business of Being Black with Tammy Mack. I am Tammy Mack. Samuel, you wanted to make some clarifications before we move on. Go right ahead, please.
Yes. When I indicated earlier that the rule of law in this country, in the United States, works, I believe it works. And I don't think the issue is with the rule of law, it's with the people who enforces the law or within the system that makes it flawed. But the comparison I was trying to make is these other countries, I mean, there is no rule of law. There's destruction all throughout. So of course, they appreciate when they come here and they are able to go through the system and get the proper means that they like. I think that's something they appreciate.
Marcel, you had some numbers for us from the FBI.
I want to say the FBI released a memo in 2006 saying that white supremacists and white extremists had infiltrated police departments throughout the nation. And that's
I agree.
The FBI, which has a history of being anti-black itself.
And I agree, and that's why I say it's the people in those positions that makes it, that corrupts the system. But the system itself in this naturalness is a good system. It's a good rule of law. But it's just the
Haiti
people
has a judicial system. Guyana has a judicial system. Mexico has a judicial system. You want to talk about a country that puts immigrants out? Mexico puts out more immigrants, 15 million Guatemalans, Belizeans, Hondurans. Mexico puts them out. The system is as good as the people. Y'all don't talk about some America's a land of opportunity. Tell Black Americans that who have not had the opportunity. And yet we vote 95% for the Democrats. And in California, where Black people only 3% of the population, over 55% of the homeless, that governor, whatever his name is, Newsom, whatever, he did a separate $40 billion package just to give people in the country illegally stimulus checks because they couldn't get it from the federal government. What is he doing about the Black people on the street?
There is currently a proposal in California to extend unemployment benefits to undocumented immigrants. So there is truth to that. Tariq, you want to weigh in?
Yes, indeed. We have a problem out here where other groups are prioritized over Foundational Black Americans. We are dealing with vile hate crimes left and right out here. Every other day, there's a Karen video, somebody harassing a Black person. We just had that shooting up there in Buffalo, which they have not deemed that as a hate crime yet. There was Black women being beat down in Florida by white supremacist males. They have not deemed those as hate crimes. We're campaigning to the Biden administration to either give us reparations or a hate crime bill. They keep ignoring us, but the Biden administration and the Democrats and the liberals, they're allocating money to Afghanistanians, Ukrainians, Hispanic groups, and all other groups except Foundational Black Americans. So when do we say it is time for us, Foundational Black Americans, to get something specific from the government that we built? There's nothing wrong with that. And we shouldn't have to prioritize other groups just because of the stuff that they got going on back in their homeland. That's unfortunate, but that's their problem and let them deal with that there.
And I hate to say this, we talk about white extremists. How about in California, you got Latino gangs that are running Black Americans out of neighborhoods that were historically Black. Some of them are not even in the country illegally. And yet Joe Biden, who said he was going to have Black Americans' backs, he's done executive orders prioritizing people in the country illegally, but not Black Americans. And when I say my campaign slogan, repair Black America to fix America, I get more flack from people who are fellow Democrats telling me about illegal immigrants. than for people who are white Republicans. The people who are
Kenda,
supposed to be
Kenda,
white
I want to ask you, Kenda, do you see why Black America as representative of Marcel and Tariq, do you see why they feel the way they feel, or is there no validation to that?
No, absolutely. I listen to my friends, my Black American friends, and I understand how they're feeling. But at the end of the day, it's not the immigrants' problems. You guys are putting every single thing on the immigrants. You got to take it back to the employers. You got to take it back to your government. You got to take it to your councilman.
That's why
you're doing a good job, Marcel. If you want to make changes, you got to get in office. You guys got to stop complaining about going on jury duty. You got to stop complaining about going out to vote, because if changes are going to be made, it got to be made from on top. Stop blaming the immigrants.
Oh, wait a minute.
So, no, hold on, Marcel. Like I don't think I have time.
Let me correct one thing that she made a mistake saying. She said the changes are made from up top. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, this is that tether class mindset. And again, this is a tether wench, so I understand why she thinks this way. Kinda, Kendall, whatever your name is. If you study history globally, the greatest changes come from the bottom up. The grassroots up, not the top down. But see, when you flee from your nations and you're not accustomed to what it takes to build better opportunities where you are, that's what you tend to think. And see, I'm glad she told on herself with that, because see, I study everything. I'm a very, very, very strategic listener. When she said the changes come from the top down, that's that immigrant, that tether class mindset of, well, if the white folks see it, then this is what it's going to be. If we thought that way, y'all wouldn't have no opportunities over here. I got to keep saying that. We're not the same, but hey, let's let it continue.
Time for that. Kenda, tell us about your book, The 10 Things Immigrants Should Know Before Coming to America, please.
So my book, Tammy, thanks for asking. It's a guide for immigrants. Well, not undocumented immigrants, but for documented immigrants that are coming to the United States. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't have tax systems. We don't have credit systems. We don't have credit cards, all that good stuff. So my book is the 10 most important things that you should know, which includes credit, how it works in the United States, taxes, like the filing deadline, when you should or should not be filing for your taxes, and how important it is. Also how to start a business, and the immigration process, even job hunting. So it's primarily a guide.
Tariq, do you have any projects coming up we should know about?
Yes, indeed. And then page 1 on her book should be how to find the Foundational Black Americans who done fought for everything and built everything for everybody.
You can write your very own book. You could write.
Oh, I gotta get to read the sound effect on that, man. Oh boy, yeah. Hey, that book need to be called 10 Ways to Stay at Home and Build Your Own. That's what it should be called. Damn, boy, the nerve of these tellers.
It is. My book is called, I have a book. It's called Foundational Black American Race Baiter. That's the cover right there. You can get it on Amazon. Foundational Black American Race Baiter, available right now.
Good. I'll get a copy.
Samuel, tell us, you are also a candidate for county councilman.
Yes, candidate for county council at large for Prince George County. Prince George County is in Maryland, and we have, Prince George County is one of the wealthiest counties in the country. But yet, when we look around, the wealth is not expressed throughout. So, for me, and I appreciate what everybody here is saying. We have to be the change we want to see. And when I look around my county, I'm resolved. Things are not where it needs to be. These folks in the office, they don't care about the regular folk. So we need people who truly care, and that's why what propelled me to public life and wants to really make a positive difference. So we have to be the change we want to see, and I appreciate what Marcel is doing, and then other works that Tariq is doing, whether is by literature, writing, because we have been dealt wrongly, the end of the stick, so to speak, and like I indicated earlier, we African Americans and have all the backbones of this country. We've done a lot.
Oh, I gotta get him with that term, that African American term. No. We do not use that term no more. See, African American, that is too vague a term. That is a misnomer describing us foundational Black American freedmen. And he keeps talking about we got to be the change we want to see. Sam, you know the best place to do that? At home. Yes, you need to be the change you want to see at home. That's where it should start. That's where it should start, Samuel. Yeah, see that African American term, that was a mistake also. We let other people define who we are. Oh, those days are over. And see, you tell us if you want to learn something, you should take a page out of our book and what we're doing now so that you can get things together in your homeland. This would be the best time for them to do it as well, because if you look at the greater majority of Caribbean and African nations, they have a very young population. All the brightest minds are there. Create opportunities for them so they can build at home so there's no brain drain in the countries. The best and brightest are busy fleeing because the generation before them didn't build anything for them. But hey, Sam is telling us we need to be the change we want to see. All this French. Now, ain't no we, buddy. You got to hold your own nuts.
But yet we still are treated unfairly, and discrimination and injustice all throughout. So we got to keep fighting.
Understood. Marcel, you're fighting in your district, so please talk about it.
Yes, I'm running. My slogan is Repair Black America to Fix America. You go to marcelforcongress.com. Please leave a donation. I'm running because I'm tired of my people being ran over. And we talk about white supremacists. It's time to talk about these illegal immigrants that are anti-Black as well. And just one point I want to make, Kenda, don't tell Black Americans we need to get out and vote when illegal immigrants can't vote and they get more policies than Black Americans do. And I'm not just going to say they get more policies than Americans do, period. If we're going to put trillions of dollars into a group of people, it should be Americans, white, Black, whatever.
Whatever. Okay. So how do we bring this together? How do we resolve this? How can America and immigrants get along in one word? I'll give you three words, Tariq, 3 words.
Build your own.
Samuel.
Look, we all are in this together.
In this together. Got it. In this together. Kenda, what you got?
Fix your government.
No, I'm with Kenda on that. Fix your government. Marcel, 3 words. What you got for me?
Reparations, protection, and deportations.
Yeah.
Okay, Vivica Fox is up next with the Fox Soul Screening Room. Thank you so much, Marcel, Kenda, Tariq, and Samuel. That's it for Business of Being Black with Tam and Mac on Fox Soul. Until next time, it's truly a blessing to be in your box. Bye, y'all. Have a great day. Fantastic day.
And there you have it, family. That is how you handle yourself when you're in debate, especially on mainstream media platforms. Those brothers are very well informed on our issues. Like I said, knowing history and present day, that's an asset, okay? And see, this is our responsibility to teach the younger ones how to do this as well, because they're the future, okay? What we're doing now is going to set the tone for how much or how little they have to do to put a button on this thing we call racism and white supremacy. And we can only do that by putting our own issues and our own concerns first to empower our people first. No more capes. Everybody gonna have to toe the line. You can't ride the coattails of foundational Black American freedmen history anymore. It's your turn to get out there and make some history. And if you one of these buffer class groups that turn on our people, hey, you already know. Don't look this way, because those white supremacists, they're gonna really show you what they think of you. So, family, I hope everybody got something from the broadcast tonight. Salute to everybody that contributed, whether you did it overtly or you chose to remain anonymous. I appreciate you. Black first, salute to everybody. Continue to enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all in future content.